This video is for general information only and not for legal advice.
Okay, welcome back for another episode of Legal Talk. That's just the title that I came up with out of the blue. And you almost feel like I need to have some sort of official title for uh, this collection of videos that I've been doing for the last 2 months. Yeah. So if you know any good title, let me know. Leave a comment below. I really appreciate that. Um, I think last video we talked about fraudulent transfer, and it was like 5 elements that the creditor has to prove that to be successful at a fraudulent transfer action. And we talk about when it's okay to plan your asset from a regional creditor when the such planning or such transfer be- becomes too late. Okay. Um, we also talk about out of the 5 elements, the number 3 elements is most litigated issue, meaning that is the focus of whole litigation of fraudulent transfer. Okay, and that third element is whether or not the debtor transferred the property or incurred obligation with the intent to hinder, delay, or defraud the creditor. And the reason that is most litigated is because that the intent is really hard to prove. Debtor is not going to admit that, hey, I transferred a property because I don't want you to get it. That will never happen. Okay? If they are that honest, most of the time they will not do it. They will just pay the creditor for whatever they are owed. They will not openly admit that they have the intention to hinder, to delay, or defraud the creditor. Okay. To prove intent, um, they we have certain factors that court will consider, and we need to gather the evidence. We use those factors as kind of like a guideline, and we gather the evidence, to prove our case. And these are the 8 most common factors. I mean, there are more than 8. The factors doesn't limit to these 8, but these are the 8 stated on the statute and its most frequent occurrence. Okay? Was the transfer made to insider? To mom, to dad, sibling, wife is the most common one, or to the LLC that's set up by husband and wife. Okay? The number 2 is whether or not after the transfer the debtor still retain the control. For example, if the debtor transfer to the company and he made himself as a board of director or officer, um, or even the shareholder of the company, then obviously he retained the control of the property transferred. Whether transfer was disclosed or concealed. 99.99% of the time, the transfer was never being told to the creditor. You can bet on that. So that's kind of easy to prove. Whether or not the debtor transfer all asset. Okay, if they own 10 properties and then they transfer out all 10 after they have a judgment, then that's pretty clear. If the debtor only transfer 1 out of 10, for some reason, he put 1 on the market. Well, he or she can say, I need the money to pay off my living expenses. Okay, that's a very legitimate reason. That is not necessarily means that he transferred with the intent to hinder, to delay, or defraud the creditor. Okay, so it depends whether how much asset that they transferred. Okay, now the 5th one is whether or not the transfer was made at the time that he or she was sued, or there's a threat to file a lawsuit. Okay, so that goes to you transfer the property when you have a knowledge of the claim or the potential claim. and at that time the transfer most likely will be too late. So if you want to plan appropriately, do it before, when there's nothing happen, and always consult with your attorneys, of course. Now, the next factor, this is a big one, whether or not the third party, the the person that received the property, or the property that the dealer transferred the property to, received uh, an equivalent value. Okay, so if I transfer the real estate property to this party A, for example, and if party A did not receive, or the party A did not pay the debtor the fair market value of the property, potentially that is a problem. Okay, if it happens that the party A pays the market value for the property, the party A might be a bona fide purchaser. And bona fide purchaser, like we talk about, if that third party has no knowledge of this fraudulent transfer, he's off the hook. Okay. Now, if that third party has knowledge of the fraudulent transfer, apparently he's not going to be off the hook, and there's going to be a whole lot of issue going on for that party A. The seven is whether or not the debtor is insolvent after the transfer. Okay, if this debtor has two properties and that's all he has, and if he transfer out and he become judgment proof, then obviously that's smell bad, smell really bad. So the last one is, well, that's kind of related to number five, whether or not the property was transferred after incurring the debt. Okay, so if you want to plan ahead. Um, After you are aware of any lawsuit, or potential claim or potential lawsuit, um, it's probably going to be very difficult um, for you to save that property.
Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe to our channel by clicking the subscribe button above. Please also check out our other videos.